In 2024, there's 10 lessons that I've been learning about self-improvement that I want to share with you. That could probably change your entire year here in 2025. The first lesson that I've learned is that discipline will always beat motivation. And what I mean by this is that motivation is only something that we get frequently. It's only like once in a month, maybe once in a week, that we suddenly get the motivation. It could be that we hear a favorite song that suddenly pumps us hype and we want to do a 5-hour fitness workout. But actually just coming to the gym 15 minutes a day, just every single day, would actually give you more than just one day for like 5 hours. That is why discipline will always beat motivation, because we need to make it a habit, not just something that we just do once in a while. The best example that I could give is, imagine a fat person. Imagine that fat person were eating fast food 6 times a day, but he tells you that he's pretty healthy because one day of the week he only eats salad. That doesn't really add up, does it? The next thing is that small habits add up to big changes. So what I mean by this is that instead of just doing a lot of things for a long time, then it's way better to cut down the amount of time that it takes to do a certain habit. So you will do it for more consistency. Instead of reading one chapter every single day, it could be to just read 5 pages every single day. It could be reading 1 page every single day. Something that's easy. One tip that I've learned from a book that I've been reading in 2024 is Atomic Habits. And one of his rules, he says, James Clear, which is the author of the book, is that if a habit takes more than 2 minutes to do, it won't become a habit because it will be too difficult. So try to cut it down to just take 2 minutes to start off with. And then when it becomes more easy, then you can scale up the time. The best way to explain this is also, if you wanted to multiply 1, think about just multiplying that 1 with 1. That wouldn't really make sense. But if we multiply 1 with 364, then we actually get a huge amount of number, which is kind of how we can say that consistency always beats just temporary motivation and just doing a lot, but just some days. And the third thing that I've learned is that you are the sum of your environment. What I mean by this is that if you hang around 5 gamers, so 5 people who love video gaming, you will undoubtedly become the 6th one. So why not use this to your advantage? Maybe you don't have 5 people or just 1 or 2 in your environment who is on self-improvement, but try to just think about it. Don't be together with people who have different values than you. So if you don't like going out and drinking, smoking, or doing drugs and all of these different things, then don't hang around with people who do this frequently, or just do it in general. Be together with people who will support you when you say that you're doing something like YouTube. That's what I've been doing, trying to be doing. The fourth thing that is a lesson that I've learned is that focus will always be your greatest asset. And what I mean by this is that when we multitask, like we actually think that we're productive, but we actually aren't, because our focus keeps being distracted from the most important thing. And it actually makes sense, because when we are in a flow state with a task, which basically means that we're doing something that is something that we can do. Basically, how I can explain a flow state quickly is that if we do something that is below our capabilities, then we will feel bored. But if we do something that's too difficult, then we will feel anxious. But when you do something that is right around your level and a little bit more difficult, then we will come into a flow state. So that's why when we keep shifting our focus from things to things to things, we won't ever get into a flow state with one thing. And that's why it keeps distracting us. That's why multitasking is often just coping, saying that it's productive, but actually you just can't keep focus on one thing. So focus is the greatest asset that you can have. Just focus on one task at a time until it's done. Fifth step is that failure is just a stepping stone. It's not the end. Because that's something that I had really difficult with. Because I always saw failure as literally just being the end of the world. I thought that I couldn't fail. But I actually realize now that it is when you fail, you actually learn from it. If you, of course, have the right mindset. But whenever we fail, it's trying to teach us something, because we shouldn't do that same thing again, obviously. So why not see failure as a good thing? Use it as fuel to succeed the next time. A good quote that I have for this one is that a winner was just a failure that just tried one more time. The sixth thing that I want to talk about is that consistency outweighs perfection. And what I mean by this is that it's way better to just show up at the gym when you're not even sure about how to do any exercises than not showing up at all. Because it's when we show up for the challenge, that we actually learn from it. And we become better the more we do it. So never think that just because you are not advanced or you're not good at a certain thing that you want to be good at, then you can't do it. Of course you can. You can always find information on it on YouTube, for example, or different platforms. So do it. The seventh thing is that health is the foundation of your success. So the more healthy that we feel, the better we will just do in life. It makes sense, because when we feel healthy, we are healthy. Because when we eat good certain amounts of food and the right food, then we will feel good with our body, which means that we will have the nutrition for good energy, good focus, and that means that we will have an easier time having the energy to do sport or do fitness, and we will also feel like we are more present and we are able to focus more on the certain task. And of course, just not being sick all of the time makes it fantastic. Whenever I eat clean food, I always feel amazing. I'm not saying that I'm perfect at this. Sometimes, a lot of times, I also eat shit food, but it's just for you to know that whenever you eat things with low ingredients, just know that you're actually doing the right thing to your body and your mind, your health. The eighth thing is that your thoughts shape your reality. So your thoughts actually have more of an impact than you think on your life. And right now, up into your life, you have probably had the wrong mindset. You probably don't think that you can do certain things. That's what you're unconsciously saying to yourself, and that is probably why you actually can't do it. There's a quote that I like. The person who says he can't do it and the person who says he can do it are both right. The ninth lesson that I've learned is that time is your most valuable resource. Right now, you will only be this age. Right now, you will only have this time. If you're young like me, like 18 years old, maybe a little bit older or younger, you have time. You are not completely lost, because you don't have a job right now. You don't work 40 hours a month, or no, a week. So why not use this time to set up your future? Build a business, build an audience, do something to actually help your future self, instead of just going to parties right now and trying to make the pain that you have right now go away, or just being filled with pleasure all the time. That is not the right way. The 10th thing that I want to say is, and the last one, is that investing in yourself will be the best investment that you could do. For example, buying books. Because think about it, books are literally people who have been going through all the pain that you are about to go through. So you can literally learn about all their mistakes and then implement it. So you can just skip through all the failing phases, and then you can just succeed almost wide array. That is why books are so powerful. That's why courses are so powerful. Sadly, it seems like a lot of people think that courses are a scam. But of course, there's probably some people who are scamming, but most of the time it's actually people who just want to help you. And then I want to say that skills is also just important to find out. Build some skills when you're young, because the more skills that you have, the more money you're actually gonna make, because you're gonna become a more valuable person to the market. That basically means that the more the markets need you, the more money you're basically gonna get. So the more that you have to give, the more that you can get, basically. So that was the 10 lessons that I've learned that I wanted to share with you, that I've learned in 2024. So implement these tips in 2025 and watch the results come in. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful start of the new year.